Hello again guys, Chair here back with another video. I'm back guys. I had taken a little break from YouTube. I was busy writing scripts for all my videos and everything. Sorry about that I didn't say. I was quite a bit busy. So this is What If Naruto was trained by Madara, Hashirama and the Sage of Six Paths part 2. Thanks guys for all the likes and everything. We got 52 likes on the video. So let's get straight into this video. So we practically start at the council room. As you know, the council has been gathered. Like, it's Koharu, like, those elders, they've like gathered the council to discuss like Naruto waking up from his coma. So Danzo then pops up and says, "So Hokage, it seems our weapon is woken up from its slumber. Now give him to me so I can go and train him." Tsunade instinctively says, "No, Danzo, you're not gonna train my grandson." As Danzo is really shocked by this, then he starts to think to himself, he might have inherited the wood style. I have to find out what his affinities are. Danzo says, grinning at himself. So, the civilian council, starts to trying to get involved, saying you should kill the demon and everything. Tsunade then really gets pissed off by this. She like starts to think of, dissolving the civilian council, but she says, I'll save it for later. As, they start talking about everything. So Tsunade, then says, what of Naruto's heritage is it to be announced? So Naruto had secretly like sent a shadow clone into the council room without anyone seeing it, as it was like listening on the conversation. It was like clogged away. Maybe it was like Kamui or one of Naruto's abilities, like to hide his invisibility, something. I don't know how to name it. You can give me a name for it. So Naruto is like listening in on everything, and then like Tsunade then says, "What if Naruto said to you must say it?" Then the seven council is like, "No, we cannot say Naruto said it, as you gain more power than us." As Naruto sees this is secretly hurt. He feels the pain. Then he like gets fed up by this, and then he goes to the graveyard. So when Naruto arrives at the graveyard, he doesn't notice, but like he has been followed by Kakashi, Mighty Guy, Asuma, Tsunade, Jiraiya, like a bunch of people have been following him in the shadows. He doesn't notice it. He like senses the chakra, but he pays no mind to it. As he goes like to the graves, where like the Hokages are, where like the first Hokage, Hashirama is there, Madara's grave, a phony grave is there. Like let's say he did betray by Eren Leaf, but like his body was kept there. Minato and Kushina's bodies were also there, as they like saved the village. So Naruto arrives at the graves. He like looks at the second Hokage's grave and says like, no, I don't want to revive this guy. He's a dick. As he had been told by Madara, how he treats Uchiha. So Naruto then activated his Rinnegan, shocking everyone who was there. They're like, what? Nani? He's got the Rinnegan. Huh? And Danzo's like, yeah, I gotta take those eyes. Those eyes must be mine. I'll control the leaf village and the world with those eyes. So now then starts going through hand signs. Then it's like samsara heavenly reincarnation, he says. As the king of hell comes out of the ground. It's like they see it. And it sticks out its tongue as it like is like four souls come out of it. Those are the souls of Hashirama, Madara, Minato, Kushina, and the first Hokage's wife. Because I didn't really know if Madara had a wife or something, but I think he didn't. So yeah, he doesn't have. So everyone is like looking there with an astonishment of like what's gonna happen. They don't really know what Naruto is doing. So the graves, a light starts to appear on the grave. As the grave like start to crack. As the graves are like cracking, they're then engulfed in a white bright light, like a third beast bomb or something, and the graves burst open. So after the light fades, they are standing there, the four legends: Madara, Hashirama, Kushina, and Minato. Kushina and Minato like instinctively look around, saying, "What the fuck? What's going on? How are we revived? It's impossible. We should be dead." Madara then looks at Hashirama as Hashirama is grinning to himself and says, "Oh, Naruto boy, so you have done it." Naruto says, "Yes, sensei." Everyone is like, "What? Sensei? But how?" So Madara then starts to look, at everyone. Then he spots Kakashi shouting and says, none Uchiha having a Sharingan. Damn those people. So Madara like is gonna be good in this. Like, oh, let's say Madara like wanted to stop the plan. He just like found out what Zetsu is secretly gonna achieve from it. He'd been told by the Sage of Six Paths, so he wants to stop the plan. That's how it's gonna go. So up in the up in the realm of like Kami and the Shinigami, the Shinigami then since like his four most powerful souls have like gone. Is he then like descends down. Kami notices this and she then like smiles to herself. She's like, oh, what are you gonna do, Shinigami, to my chosen one? As she descends right after him. The Shinigami then appears and then everyone's looking at him like, ha ha ha. Boy, you think you can steal the soul, my most powerful souls, without anything in return? Damn you, blasted renegade. Now give me your soul. As the Shinigami is like reaching to try and grab Naruto's soul. Naruto instinctively, like, does an almighty push on the Shinigami. It's like the Shinigami is pushed back, and then suddenly, like, there's a bright light and Kami appears. The Shinigami is like, Kami-sama, what are you doing here? He says, ah, Shinigami, why are you trying to claim the soul of my chosen one? She says to him. As the Shinigami is like, Nani? But he can't be. And Kami then says, oh, yes, he is. His power is just sealed away, as he's like too great to, get sealed. So practically Naruto is gonna be like a forgotten god, something like that. So Kami then reaches to Naruto, and then she like taps him, and then like a sealing array appears on him. Minato is instinctively shocked by this, and like he starts like to look at the seal, trying to analyze to see what it's holding back. So Kami then draws a bit of her blood and then onto the seal, and she runs through hand size, and then she goes like, power of chaos and destruction, unseal. As she then unseals Naruto's power. I'm gonna show you what he looks like in that form, but like not as now, it's still being sketched up. So Naruto's power then gets unsealed, and so Naruto's like, Nani? What's this power? As he starts his mind starts to get filled with knowledge and everything. All the wisdom, all the power, the techniques, his weapons and everything, and his current abilities. So Naruto's like jolly like persona, like the mask he was putting up instinctively like falls down. He no longer has need for it. So Naruto then looks at his parents and then he like goes up to them and he hugs them. So he then decides like to tell his parents what he had gone through and everything. Is Kushina, Minato, Madara and Hashirama, they are pissed as hell. Is Madara and Hashirama like arguing at themselves saying, and then Madara's like, you see Hashirama, that's why I told you shouldn't have, let your brother become the second Hokage. Hashirama then sighs to himself saying, I really wish I didn't announce him as my successor. Cause yeah, he really messed up our dream. So everyone is around there like shocked by this. Like the first Hokage, is like denying the second Hokage's thing. So actually the second Hokage, was a big dick about everything, especially to Uchihas and all that stuff. So practically at this point, the Uchiha massacre hasn't quite happened yet. So, Madara then asks like, what about the Uchihas? Are they still living in the village? Yes, Tsunade then goes up and says, yes, they're still living in the village, but they've been cast out by the civilian council. So instinctively, Hashirama picks up with this and says, I never put any notion, to publish a civilian council in this village. So at this point, like, there's a lot of bloodlust in the air, as everyone in Konoha is like, ish, we're up for a rude awakening. So they then go like to Tsunade's office, it's like the envoy still there watching just in case something fishy might happen. So they start going through the records of like all the laws and income, everything. So practically like Minato and Kushina like find out that the money that they allocated for Naruto, to keep him going for the next like next 30 to 40 years, it like decreased fast, just like around 100,000 Ryu left out of like a total of like 6 billion Ryu at best, which was like not all of the money, but at best, because like they had other safes and seals all around place. So Kushina and Minato like instinctively start investigating like where Nara's funds went. As you know, the council is then summoned and they start talking and then like say, First Okage, look, it's the traitor Madara. Madara instinctively like summons is going by on the side as he's like he charges at the person like say called him a traitor as he slashes his head off. As his head falls down and like, everyone's like, Nani? Anbu, get him. The Anbu at this point they can't do shit. They're like scared. Or like, this is murder we're talking about. So the ant will just like remain standing as it's not then begins the council meeting. So Minato and Kushina, then come in then like, oh the fourth Okage our hero. Then the fourth Okage looks at them with a glare in his eye and then says, why have you been beating up my son? Attempting to kill my son, or doing all these atrocities against my son? As the village leaders are like, your son, you never had a son. As Minato then like snaps his finger and Naruto appears. As everyone like sees him, like, what? The demon bread? Kushina hearing this, her hair like goes into 9 strands, and then she develops a few claws. And she charges at the civilian member and slashes his head off. As Tsunade is like, and then Koharu, Danzo, and Homura like, Lady Okage, you can't let her do that, she must be arrested. And Minato says, you're not arrest my wife. And then gets pissed by this, then takes out his frying thunder god kunai. He then chucks it towards Danzo. Danzo seeing this instinctively dodges as he knows like what technique this is. As he dodges, Minato then appears, above Danzo and Rasengans the hell out of him. As Danzo like passes out. Naruto then says like, I think like I don't know what's the name of like Itachi's father, and he says like you must check Lord Danzo's arm. There are like a bunch of Sharingan there. As Fugaku is shocked by this. Yeah, Fugaku, that's his name. He's shocked by this, and then he opens like Danzo's arm and sees and everything, and see the Sharingan. Then the arm instinctively, like Madara getting disgusted by this, and says, Amaterasu, as he burns Danzo. Danzo is practically screaming, trying to do the Izanagi, but the Izanagi isn't working. As he like looks towards like Shisui's eye, and he sees like Shisui's eye, has been removed, but he doesn't feel the pain of it. And his arm is also gone. So at this point, the Eren Lee village, has like gained a lot of power, like as as Minato, Kushina, Hashirama, and Madara are back. So instinctively, like Minato, Madara, and Hashirama start correcting like the mistakes they'd made. Like, so Tsunade at this point she's removed from the Okage post. So she's like has been sent to the hospital. Madara and Hashirama take over the Okage role, like doing all the paperwork and everything. Minato like wants to take some time like to know his son and everything. So at this point, like the Eren Lee village, has been amassing a lot of power. So time skip like after 3 years, it's like the time for getting exams, like so they can pass and start doing missions. So at this point, like they've recognized that his skills is he's like already beyond that. Like the power he has is just too much. So all the other nations, are getting jealous by this. They like see the Eren Lee village as a threat, and then they declare war on the Eren Lee village. So as they declare like war on the Eren Lee village, Naruto like is really pissed off by this, but then he decides like to cool his anger for a bit, like wanting to see what these guys are gonna do. So like in time skip in these 3 years, like Naruto has mastered like all his techniques and everything. He's like beyond like the Sage of Six Pack at this point. So like the Sage of Six Pack like sees like at this point there's no like problem like to give Naruto power or anything like that. And like in the shadows, the Akatsuki has been like doing like the tailed beast, but the Akatsuki was like a bit smarter this time. Like to extract like a lot of like 97% of the tailed beast to like leave the Jinchuriki alive. They, like extract like 97 of the tailed beast, so like the soul and the consciousness are already gone. All that's left is the chakra to keep you alive. So like that's what it's been going around doing. What's left is only like the 9 tails, it's like the 8 tails, got extracted. But the Jinchurikis are still alive. So like they'll do that and then they'll wipe your memory, so like you still think that you have the tailed beast inside of you. But like it's like, the Genjutsu like Shisu had the Koto Matsukami. I think I got that correct. So the Akatsuki, has been gathering everything. Obit was like doing this behind the shadows, but he doesn't know like he's being used by Black Zetsu. Because like Black Zetsu is like cunning and strategic. He knows like his way around stuff. He's like been piloting the shinobi world. So when Black Zetsu heard that Madara was like brought back to life, he instinctively like rushed at Madara, like trying to see if he'll continue the plan. But said when he arrived, like Madara was like, Black Zetsu, don't you dare come near me. I know you have been manipulating me, trying to get me to revive your mother. Black Zetsu is shocked by this, but Nani, how did you know? Very well, if you know, I must kill you. Madara says Amaterasu. As you know, Black Zetsu sinks into the ground, disappearing. So Obito like he has word of Madara's revival, but he knows like Madara doesn't want to carry on with the plan, so he just leaves Madara. So Madara has the running gun which is also linked to the statue, but he can't summon it for some reason. He like wanted to stop Obito's plan. So like the time of war is like drawing near and near, right? And the Leaf Village, has been stocking up on like, all weaponry and everything. So flashback, 2 years before the Genin exams. Naruto, Naruto and Kushina and Nito, like that's Hashirama's wife, is Naruto brought her back to life. They're like heading to Uzu, like Uzu, the village of the Uzumakis. So as they're heading there, they come across the whirlpools and like Kushina and Nito do hand signs as the whirlpool stops. As they like cross like the water, like sprint on the water, like going to Uzu, as they reactivate the whirlpools. So back to as they like arrive in the village, right? She then like sees the village is destroyed and everything. So Mito instinctively like heads down like to the main shinobi building, like the Kage office, which was like there for them. As they like goes to the Kage office, then they see like the top part is destroyed, but there's like a ceiling area on the bottom. So Kushina, Mito, and Naruto like draw their blood into the seals, right? It's like as they draw their blood, Naruto is like turned from a part Uzumaki, to half up to like half, because like I think Naturo's genes were diluted at that point, like he wasn't a complete Uzumaki. So Naturo's hair, like half of Naturo's hair changes like to red, and the other remains still yellow. So Naruto then asks his mother what happened, but she doesn't understand. Mito as well is a bit shocked by this, but she felt like her chakra has increased and everything. So like what that seal did, it like changed the genie setup of the person who activated it, as they like either an Uzumaki or not. So the ceiling array starts to glow bright and brighter, like there's a dim light as the ceiling array then disappears. The floor then opens up, revealing like a comatose room, which is practically like where the genes of the Uzumakis it remained, just in case like there was gonna be a war. The Uzumaki clan would survive if anyone ever found it. They could restore the Uzumaki clan. So Mito and Kushina seeing this, I instinctively like in wonder like how did they like manage to keep this place running. So then like go deep investigating, they see like there were many seals containing like a power source and everything. So Kushina and Mito then like instinctively like think of restoring like the Uzumaki clan. So Mito instinctively like sends a letter to Hashirama telling them of their findings. Hashirama and says yes, they can come to the Hidden Leaf village. So they then start like opening up those comatose coffins of some sort, as the people like step out. It's like they're still clothes, they have clothes. So like the people step out and then they like ask what's going on. Then like Kushina then explains to them like the point of the Uzumakis, the war and everything, and like the current war which is going on. So the Uzumakis which are around there are like 54 of them, which is like a large number than most of like Konoha's clans at best. So they then like head back to the Leaf village for preparing for war. So guys, I'm gonna leave this video. I'm gonna upload another part of this tomorrow and the day after that as well, because I haven't been uploading. My upload schedule is really messed up. So thank you for the support, guys. Peace out.